Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. And here it is, the week of Easter. Great time in the church, great time in life. It's when God redeemed man to himself, and some really special things happened because of that. Today, I'd like to start sharing some of the thoughts of Jesus in the week before Easter, the time between Palm Sunday, which was yesterday, and Easter, which will be this coming Sunday, all from the Gospel of John. And I want to start today with John 14, verses 1 through 3. You've heard this before, so let's look at it. Jesus says, "Don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God, trust also in me. There is more than enough room in my Father's home. If this were not so, would I have told you that I'm going to prepare a place for you? And when everything is ready, I will come and get you so that you will always be with me where I am." If you don't remember anything else about the life of Jesus, this is a good one to remember because it speaks to you and me in our everyday life. It speaks to us in the midst of all circumstances, the really high ones and the really low ones. It speaks to us about a God who cares more than you and I can imagine. I mean, I care about people I know, people I love, people that are friends. I even care about a lot of people that are not friends, but I don't know that many people. You know, I'm guessing if I could know 200 people, that's probably a large number. Some of you might know more, and others of you would know less. But nevertheless, you and I don't know very many folks. Jesus gave this word to everybody. And here's again what he said: "Don't let your hearts be troubled." My heart has been troubled many times over the years. I bet yours has too. In fact, yours might be troubled even as I speak. You see, lots of things can go wrong in this world, lots of things that we're unprepared for. They could be physical things, they could be medical issues, they could be relationship issues, they could be issues that are not ours, but are our children's or some of our friends. Nobody gets through life with everything working out perfectly. Nobody gets through life never having any problems. I know, be nice if it did. Well, maybe it would be, but it doesn't matter because it's not going to happen. So, in your life right now, what is troubling you? What is it that you just can't get rid of, that drags you down, keeps you from being happy, from being full of life and joy and excitement? Maybe it's something little, maybe it's something huge, maybe it's something that is so overwhelming you're ready to give up. So, in those moments, we hear this word from Jesus: "Don't let your hearts be troubled." Now, he's not offering this as a suggestion. In fact, the verb here is in the command form. Don't do it, regardless of what you feel like, regardless of, of how long it's gone on. Just don't do it. Well, now that's easy for me to say. It's a whole nother thing to do it. But he goes on and gives us some reasons and some ideas as to how we cannot let our heart be troubled. He says, first off, trust in God and trust also in me. Trust. You know, you and I trust in a lot of things. We don't think of it that way, probably, but we do. When we go to bed at night, most of us don't think about Golly, am I going to get up in the morning? Golly, am I going to wake up? We just trust the fact that that's going to happen. And for many of us, we figure that the next time we get hungry, we'll have something to eat. Now, granted, there are a lot of people in the world for whom that's not true, but almost none of those are listening to me, unfortunately. Trust is a very simple thing. It means to allow someone else or something else to do that which you cannot do. Did you hear that? It's to allow someone or something else to do that which you cannot do. One of my favorite illustrations is a light switch. I come into a room and I flip on the switch. And sure enough, the lights come on. And it's like, wow, isn't that amazing? Now, if you ask me to explain to you exactly how that happens, I can't do that. Oh, I can tell you a few things, but I can't really explain how the electrons moving around do that. Nor can I explain how I can control them with this little switch. But I trust someone who knows more than I do to have built the system which I cannot do, and it'll work. And so I live my life trusting in the switches that affect the lights. I don't even think about them. I never once go into a room and say, I wonder if this is going to work. I get surprised if it doesn't work. But to trust something is to give that person or that thing the power to do which you cannot do. So Jesus says, trust in me and trust in God. And what is it we cannot do? Well, a whole bunch of stuff. And if our hearts are troubled, which is where this started with things that are beyond our control, then those things are beyond our control. But they are within the control of that person with whom we trust. And that person is God. You see, it's really pretty simple. All we have to do is let that person do their thing. All I have to do is let the light switch do its thing, and I benefit from it. By trusting in God and not allowing my heart to be so wrapped up in difficulties and problems that I'm overwhelmed, I allow God to do his thing. And then he goes on a little bit more and he says, there's more than enough room in my Father's house for each of you. When we finish this life and all things are done, there's more than enough room in God's palace for you and for me. Keep that in mind, would you? Thanks for listening today. I'll be back tomorrow with another few words from Jesus during this week. I hope you have a great week and a great time thinking about Easter. And if you haven't thought about it, well, think about it. If you have a need or a concern, let us know. And we'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. God bless you. Take care of yourself. I'll be back tomorrow.